Okay, today we are going to subtract decimals. And how can place value help you to subtract those decimals? So we're going to use place value. Again, an important thing to remember about when we're working with decimals is to, when we write our numbers one above the other, that we put our decimal places one above the other. And if we have to fill in a 0 to the right of our decimal to make the number work for us, then that's okay. So here is our question for today. It says, Hannah has 3 36 kilograms of apples and 2 28 kilograms of oranges. Hannah estimates she has about 1 more kilogram of apples than oranges. How many more kilograms of apples than oranges does Hannah have? How can you use the estimate to decide if your answer is reasonable? How do we know that? Oh?
If the estimate is close to your answer.
Okay, so that's something you need to check out. What does she estimate? That it is 1 more kilogram. 1 more kilogram of apples than oranges. Okay, subtract the hundredths first. If there are not enough hundredths, regroup 1/10 as 10 hundredths. Okay, so we have 6 minus 8. Are there enough hundredths to subtract?
No.
No. So go over to your tenths. Cross out your 3. What does that become?
6.
2. And then in our hundredths place, we get 16. So 16 minus 8 is 8. Okay? So 16 hundredths minus 8 hundredths equals 8 hundredths. Then we're going to subtract the tenths and ones. Regroup as needed. If I have 2 tenths minus 2 tenths, do I need to regroup?
No.
No. Put your decimal. Now I have 3 ones minus 2 ones. Does that work?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So 2 tenths minus 2 tenths is 0 tenths, and 3 ones minus 2 ones equals 1 1. Record the differences in each place value. Okay, now the next thing in the box down below by the orange sack says draw a quick picture of your work on the workspace. Okay, they did not give me any workspace in my Smartboard presentation, so here's our problem. And when we're doing subtraction, what do we draw? Which number do we draw?
The top.
The top one, the one that we're going to take something away from. So please draw that number on your workspace. Okay, so now we've drawn our 3 ones, 3 tenths, and 6 hundredths. We have to, you look at your problem, you have to take 8 hundredths from 6 hundredths. Can you do that? No. So where are we going to go to regroup? The tenths. We're going to take this tenth and we're going to make it into 10 hundredths. So go ahead and do that. So now we have 16 hundredths and only two tenths left. Here's our 16 hundredths. Okay? If we take 8 of those hundredths away, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hundredths left. Okay? We see that we have 2 tenths, and we have to take 2 tenths away So we will cross out both of our tenths, leaving us a 0 in the tenths place. Bring your decimal down. Now we have 3 ones, and we're going to take 2 of those ones away, leaving us with 1, 1. So our answer is 1 8/100ths. Okay, so now we're at the bottom of page 139. So Hannah has 1 8/100ths more kilograms of apples than oranges. Since 1 8/100ths is close to 1, the answer is reasonable. Remember, in our problem, she estimated that she had 1 more kilogram of apples than oranges. Okay, now we are moved on to page 140, and we're going to do the try this. Use addition to check. This is no different than when clear back at the beginning of school when we used addition to check our subtraction. We just have that decimal point in there. Since subtraction and addition are inverse operations, you can check subtraction by adding. Find the difference. Subtract the hundredths first. Okay, when you look at this problem, we have 14 2/10. What can we put in this spot to help us out there, Keegan?
0.
A 0. If we fill a number in to the right of our decimal, we are not changing our number, right?
Yes.
Okay? So now we're going to have to do a little bit of regrouping, right? You can't have 0 and take 3 from that. So go ahead and cross your 2 out. Make that a 1. And give that 1 to your 0. So now how many hundredths do we have? 10. And 10 minus 3 is 7. Okay, now in the tenths, can we do that? We have 1/10, and we've got to take 6 away. Can we do that? No. So where are we going to go to regroup?
4.
To the 1's place, right? To the 4. Our 4 is going to become a 3. And our 1 in our tenths place is going to become an 11. We're going to give it 10. And 11 minus 6 is 5. Bring down your decimal. Okay, now we're ready to move on to those 1's. If I have 3 1's, can I subtract 8 1's?
No.
No, so go over there to your 10's place. That becomes a 0, and your 1's place becomes 13, and 13 minus 8 is 5. So now we have 5 57/100. It says step 2, check your answer. Add the difference to the number you subtracted. If the sum matches the number you subtracted from, your answer is correct. What's the difference? What's the definition of a difference? Okay? Okay, so why do we use difference when we're subtracting? What part of the expression or problem is that? Difference is the
Answer to the subtraction problem.
So this is the answer to our subtraction problem, right? So we're going to put 5 57/100ths over here. And then we are going to add the 8 63/100ths. We're going to add it back to that the number that we subtracted. So 7 plus 3 is
10.
big group of 1. 5 plus 1 is
6.
plus 6 more is
12.
big group of 1. And 5 plus 1 is
6.
plus 8.
14.
14, and don't forget to put your decimal in there. So is our answer of 5 57/100ths correct?
Yes.
Yes, very good. All right, we're going to work on the explanation of is your answer correct? So is our answer correct when we did our checking with our,
Yes.
all right, so let's write yes. And how do we know the difference? Added to the number I subtracted is equal to the number I subtracted from. Okay, we're going to go on and move to the bottom of the page to the share and show. This is problem 1 on the bottom of 140, the share and show. 5 and 83 hundredths minus 2 and 18 hundredths. And first they want us to estimate. And if I were going to estimate and round these to the nearest whole number, 5 and 83 hundredths would be what to the nearest whole number? 6. 8 would make our 5 go to 6. And what would 1 make our 2 do? Stay the same. So we'd have 6 minus 2, which is 4. So let's see what they hid under here. And can we do this subtraction? We're going to have to do a little regrouping, aren't we? So we can't have 3 minus 8, so we're going to go to our tenths place. We're going to make that 8 a 7. And we're going to give 10 to our 13, and 13 minus 8 is 5. Okay. Now we have 7 minus 1. Can we do that? Yes. And that will be 6. We have our decimal point. Then in the ones we have 5 minus 2, which is 3. So is 3 and 65 hundredths close to 4? Yes. If I were going to round 3 and 65 hundredths, it would round up to 4, wouldn't it? Okay, let's look at this one. This is number 2. Again, we're going to estimate. Jay-Sean, what is 4 and 45 hundredths going to round to the nearest whole number? Four makes the 4 in the tenths makes the 4 in the ones do what? Stay the same. Okay? How about the 1 and 86 hundredths? What will that round to, Stephen? 2. And we're subtracting, so 4 minus 2 is 2. So our estimate is 2. Now we have to do some regrouping in our hundredths place because 5 is less than 6, so therefore we cannot subtract that. So go to your tenths place, cross your 4 out, and change that to 3/10. I'm going to give that 1/10 over here to make it 15 hundredths, and 15 hundredths minus 6 hundredths is 9 hundredths. Now in our tenths place we have 3 and they want us to take away 8. Can we do that? No. No. So go over to your ones, regroup, take 1 away, and that gives us a 3 in our ones. That gives us 10 tenths to add to our 3 in our tenths place. And 13 minus 8 is 5. Now we're ready to subtract our ones. 3 minus 1 is 2. Is 2 and 59 hundredths close to 2? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. I think they're going to give us one more here. And this is number 3. We're going to go ahead and estimate this to be 4 minus 2, which is 2. We're going to have to do a little regrouping. We're going to have to go clear back. 8, 7,